Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to talk to you about a new brand and a new product that I have tried recently. I mentioned them in one of my latest Shop My Stash videos, and those are the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes. Prefacing this by saying that I was influenced to purchase these by my good friend Alice here on YouTube. Alice from Alice's Beauty Madness, whose channel I'm going to leave in the description box below, is one of my bestest friends here on YouTube as well as in real life. We hang out together. Hopefully we're going to be able to hang out together even more once this pandemic blows over. A couple of weeks ago, around the end of 2020, Alice, like a lot of other people on YouTube, was doing her yearly makeup declutter, so she was going through the different categories in separate videos. She did a video on her blushes, and in her blush video I remember her mentioning one of those Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes. And given how interested I've been lately in like cream and liquid products for especially like complexion, I was immediately like, meerkat, gimme, I want. So I immediately went on to search for where I can find these. I live in the Netherlands, for those of you who are interested where I purchased these from. I purchased these from the Look Fantastic like Dutch web shop, and they were also available on Zalando. The only difference was that on Zalando they seemed to have like very different colors to what I could find on the page of Look Fantastic. Initially I was going to just purchase one color of blush just to try the formula and try a really fun color. However, one of the hugest problems I came across when I was looking into these products was lack of enough information on YouTube and just generally speaking online. I had a really hard time. Like, you can definitely find reviews, you can definitely find swatches, but honestly there isn't an overabundance of them, and I had a really hard time choosing a color of blush because a lot of them seemed to look very different in different lighting, and a lot of them seemed to look quite similar when people were swatching them, so I had a really hard time choosing. I spent like a few days trying to pick a color that I want to try, and in the end I got really frustrated. And I noticed that on the Look Fantastic web shop they had the option of purchasing the, let me find out how it's called because I can never remember the exact name of it, the Watercolor Customizable color set for cheeks. I don't usually like to buy sets because I always feel like you're going to end up with at least one color that you're not going to be using much. However, because of the nature of this product, because it is a liquid product and you can mix and match things, when I looked a little bit closer, I noticed that the shades that are offered in this set actually offer you quite a variety of different undertones, and you can probably have a lot of fun mixing and matching to create your own custom colors. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to just go for the set because at the time I also had a 20% off code. I'm pretty sure you can stalk the Look Fantastic website and at some point in the coming months get a 20% off this set. The original price of this is 56 euros. The set comes with 4 colors, but they are not all 4 blushes. You get 2 blushes, and those are the shades Pop, which is sort of like a medium rosy pink, and this shade Lux, which is more of like a peachy shade. It also comes with 2 highlighters, and those are in the shades Sun Glow, which is a somewhat warmer and deeper like beigey gold, and the other one is called Moon Glow, and it's more of like a champagne pearlescent kind of color. Each of these contains 15 milliliters of product. In terms of formula, when Daniel Sandler says these are watercolor blushes, he really means watercolor. These have an extremely liquid formula to them. So first of all, the product might separate a little bit in the container, which is really not a problem, but you do have to shake it quite well before use. So I'm going to give this one a really good shake, and then I just wanted to put a drop of it on the back of my hand just so you can see. A little container comes with like a dispenser, so you're not going to be wasting too much product, but you can immediately tell how liquid it is. It immediately formed a drop that is already traveling downwards my hand. These are extremely liquid. However, they are also exceptionally pigmented. This was just pretty much one tiny drop that I put on my hand, and you can see how much already came out of it. So this is the shade of the pink blush. Now, since I started off with the blushes, let's just swatch the other blush as well. So like I said, here you have the shade Pop, which is the more medium rose pink shade, and here you have the peach shade, which is called Lux. I don't believe these two colors are present in his regular lineup of watercolor blushes. I think these are pretty specific to the set. I could be lying, but I didn't really find the corresponding like watercolor blushes in his regular lineup. So you will have to like search for other names if you want to find like a peach and a pink in his like single watercolor blushes. These are really gorgeous colors. In my opinion, if you want to be covered by pink and peach, which are probably some of the two most basic shades that people use as blush, these have beautiful undertones to them. The shade Pop, while it is a very like bubblegummy pink, is not a very cool toned bubblegum pink. It looks a little bit like a flush on the cheeks, and the shade Lux, which is the peach shade, is just the perfect satin peach shade. It is just so beautiful. None of these has any shimmer to them, so they are just like a satin formula of opaque color. As far as the formula goes and how they look on the cheeks, these are absolutely stunning. You will see a demo of me applying this shade Lux, so the peach shade, as well as one of the, actually a mix of the two highlighters, so you will immediately be able to tell the finish that they have on the skin. But they look flawless on the skin. They have a beautiful glow. They have a very natural finish. I find them to have a very natural and like glowy finish on the skin without feeling dewy or greasy. They set very nicely, and what I find a real advantage to the formula of these is that they probably have like a lot of silicone worked into the formula, because they almost look blurring on the skin. So in fact, if you have texture on the skin, I think these are actually going to blur whatever texture you have on your skin. They just look so incredibly flawless. Now let's watch the two highlighters while we are at it, and then I'm going to show you some of the mixes that I do of the different colors, just so you get an idea of what kind of undertones and like variations you can achieve if you have these four colors. So as far as the two highlighters go, here you have the somewhat deeper shade. This is the shade Sun Glow, and here you have the shade Moon Glow, which is the lighter, more pearlescent champagne. These are beautiful basic colors that you can use on the daily. As you can see, they have a little bit of like shimmer to them, especially the shade Sun Glow has a little bit of like golden shimmer running through it. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm wearing a combination of the two on my cheekbones right now, and as you can see, they are not a super intense highlighter. So if you like very intense highlighters, read something like the formula of the ABH Glow Kits. You're probably not going to like this, because this doesn't have anything to do with the formula of those. It's a very natural, lit from within kind of glow, but it does look very flattering and very beautiful on the cheekbones. I cannot imagine anyone on whom these are not going to work, because they just sit so beautifully on the skin, and like I said, they seem to blur imperfections rather than emphasize them. Now as far as these two shades go, like I said, I like to mix them, or I like to wear the shade Moon Glow on its own, because I think it looks really beautiful. It kind of like melts into my own skin tone, so it just looks like a sheen on my cheekbones. I don't really like to wear this shade, the shade Moon Glow, on its own, just because I don't really like very icy highlighters, and this one has a little bit of like this icy quality to it. If you are a lighter skin tone than me, probably it's going to look really pretty on you, but on me I just find it to be a little bit too icy. So I do prefer to either mix the two or wear the shade Sun Glow on its own. Now just for shits, I'm going to show you a couple of the combinations that I personally like to do when I mix and match these. I certainly haven't tried all the possible things that you could probably do with these, and of course there isn't like an infinite amount of combinations that you can make. At some point you're going to achieve pretty much the same color in like different tonality. However, a couple of these are really fun, and I just wanted to show them to you. So what's probably on everyone's mind is what happens when you mix the two blush colors together in like a 1:1 ratio. And this is pretty much what you get. You get a little bit of more of like a coral peachy pink color. It is a bit less peachy and a bit less pink compared to the two original colors that you have in the set. I think it's a really fun combination, and I really like to wear this. Another combination that I really like to wear is each of the blushes in combination with the deeper highlighter. So when you mix the deeper highlighter shade with the peachy shade, you get a really gorgeous sort of like bronzy peach. Essentially you get the peach blush but with a little bit of like a bronzy tone to it and a little bit more shimmer, of course, because the blush color by itself, as you can see here, just by mixing the two shades, is quite opaque and it doesn't really have any shimmer through it. However, if you would like to add some shimmer to it, you can definitely mix it with one of the highlighters. I like to mix my blushes with the deeper highlighters because, like I said, this is just too icy for my taste. And this is what you get when you mix the deeper highlighter together with the pink blush. You get this beautiful shiny bubblegum pink. So it makes the shade, the tone of the pink blush a little bit lighter, and it also makes it a bit more sparkly, you know. No, well, not really sparkly, but like shimmery because of the highlighter formula. And I'm kind of hoping you will be able to see, but this is what happens when you mix the two highlighter shades together. This is the shade, like the pearlescent shade on its own. This is the deeper shade on its own, and this is a little bit the result of mixing the two. So you get just a little bit more pearlescence and a bit more like of a lighter tone to this highlighter when you mix it in with the pearlescent color. And by the way, all the combinations that I do are more or less in like a 50-50 ratio. I just put one drop of each and then I mix them together on the back of my hand. Now when it comes to application, you probably already saw this in the demo part, but just to recap, I do mix these on the back of my hand and then I use a brush to apply them. I'm very sorry, my brush is a little bit wet now, and you can literally use any brush that you have in your collection, something like this, or like your favorite foundation brush, or anything that you have in your collection that you like to use for applying cream or liquid products will work. I just used this in my little demo that I did for you, and then I washed the brush in the meantime. This is the mini base from Sonia G's Keyaki brush set. It's one of my favorite brushes to apply face products with, which is why I went for it. But you can literally use anything else that you have in your collection. You may even use your fingers. I think the important part when you're using a brush is to make sure that you're like kind of going very gently with the amounts that you put on your cheeks, because these are very intense and very pigmented and you can go overboard really easily. So you just dip into like the tiniest amount and then you start applying it on your cheeks. And what I do first is I kind of stipple the product and then I gently blend it out. And that's pretty much it. I've never noticed it lifting my foundation, moving any of the other like cream products that I have underneath around on my face. So as far as the formula goes, I think it is pretty flawless, pretty easy to apply, and I am super happy with my purchase, honestly. So in conclusion, I would highly recommend the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes and highlighters if you like liquid and cream type of highlighters and you prefer that kind of like more dewy and luminous finish on your skin. If you like your matte finish, then don't go for this, because that's not what they're going to give you. They have a little bit of luminosity and glow to them, which kind of stays like this throughout the whole day. And just a little like pandemic related FYI, I have worn these underneath a mask and I have not noticed them moving around on or wiping off during the course of the day. They're pretty much there at the end of the day. I really love the finish of these, and honestly, if it was a little bit easier to choose a color, which like I said, it's not, because there aren't that many like swatches, like easy to decipher swatches on the internet, I would probably be buying more colors, because I'm definitely looking into buying something that is like a deep terracotta orange in this formula. Absolutely stellar formula, highly recommend it. Like I said, if you like that kind of like luminous glow on your skin. So I think I'm going to hereby close off this review. If I forgot anything, please let me know in the comments, and I will be more than happy to address any questions that you might have additionally for these products. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more of my face, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!